Hello everybody. Thanks for joining me back in the garage again. Yeah, it's still winter time here in Michigan and the cold temperatures are starting to roll in. But as you can see, I've got a mess started again, but this time it's my engine, or I should say Simon's engine. I got it here on the engine stand. It's half tore down, and I think before I told you guys I noticed I did have a crack on cylinder 1. Actually, it was 2 cracks, and I'll show you that here. This one was pretty noticeable. Right here, there's 2 little cracks and a couple little burn marks. I noticed that one as soon as I started taking it away, but as you can see, I've got 3 cylinders sitting here, and I'm missing cylinder number 4 because cylinder number 4, I'm assuming, is still good. I actually had 3 cracked cylinders, and they're really hard to notice. Now that I know they're there, I can see them, but there's one right here. You hear that? Just a small little crack. Notice it there. Actually, you can actually see the burn mark. This is the first time I've ever dealt with cracked cylinders, so I'm learning, and I'm trying to hope to pass a little knowledge on you guys. And then you can see, actually you can see this one quite clearly too. This is cylinder number 2, and judging by my head, get a good angle here. This is cylinder 1. I could clearly see the 2 cracks there, but when I was cleaning the heads up, it's when I discovered the other cylinders were cracked. I can see that there was 2 here, and we're going to need a little facing here because if you listen, you can hear that there is a little damage there. I think I flip this back over. Yep, and you can see there's definitely a burn mark there and definitely a burn mark there. Actually, there's one started there. Looks like cylinder 2 might have had 3 in it. I didn't notice that on the head as much. Oh yeah, you can see it right there where the stud goes through. So, yeah, got some debating to do, and I think what I'm going to wind up doing, I think the easiest route for me is actually, and I hate to say this, make the engine smaller. These are 94 millimeter SEMA Mila pistons and cylinders. I think I'm going to go with a 92 millimeter, which will have a thick wall on it. And what I mean by thick wall, I haven't got them yet. I'm still working, but that's the measurement across the top here, which is actually the sealing surface, will be thicker because I think they make these. I'm not completely sure, but I believe they make these cylinders in 2 ways. Because they actually, when I was looking on one of the websites, I think I'm going to go with the AA Automotive cylinders with the forged pistons. I think, if I'm not mistaken, JE actually supplies the forged pistons for AA Automotive. When I get them on the phone, I'll figure that out for sure, because I need to know what rings are on there too. But the thick wall 92s will actually take the same cut, so they'll be cut for 94 on the heads here, giving it a thicker wall because it'll have a smaller bore, interior bore. The outside bore, hope I'm explaining this so you guys can understand it. I'm a better learner than a teacher, but yeah, the inside diameter is going to be smaller. The outside diameter will be the same size, making the wall thicker. And I actually think, when I did the reading, said that the 92 millimeter cylinder was 2 millimeters thicker than a standard 92 millimeter cylinder. And what I'm getting at there is when you get your heads bored for the 92s, they're the same for 90.5 92. So this surface here, or cylinder circumference, is smaller on a standard. Now, like I said, I'll jump back to where I think they make 2 sets. I think they make 2 different sets. I think one, the diameter for the case is the standard 92 bore, because this is bigger. The 94 millimeter bore is bigger here than the 92s and the 90.5s. The set of cylinders I'm looking at actually go in a 94 case and a 94 head, making both walls thicker. If you look at these, this is the, I'll show you the one that's been cracked. And yes, I know this has been cracked. It's been cracked from day one. This engine's been together for 10 years. And as you can see by the wear marks, the cylinder or the piston doesn't come down to the crack mark. But you can see how thin the 94 is for the 94 bore. So it'll be nice to even have this a little thicker down there, even though most all your surface mating is done here, not here. But yeah, that's where I'm at with so far with the engine on Simon. This was a 2332cc engine. The 92 by 84 crank will give me, I believe, a 2234 cc's. So it'll be a tad smaller, but I'm hoping with the larger or the thicker walls, it'll handle the boost and a little better. I'm not sure how long these have been cracked. I don't remember seeing them when I had the engine tore apart a year ago. It's possible I did it just this last summer. But the strange thing is, before I tore it down last year, I'd have to go back to the videos and remember, the same 3 cylinders were low on compression. I thought it was more of a ring issue, so I wound up honing the cylinders and putting it back together, and I thought it was better. So it's possible they were slightly cracked when I tore it apart before. I hope not. I hope I would have noticed it. I do remember when I first put this whole fuel injection kit together, I had a fuel delivery issue problem, and the thing, even just trying to take off under load, would pop and sound like a popcorn machine going down the road. It would idle fine and cruise fine, but yeah, anytime you tried to get on it, it would make a lot of popping noise. But yeah, there's where I'm at with this. All right, we'll move on to Hubert. I think Hubert's ready to hibernate, and I think we're ready to wake up Simon over there and start working on him. But Hubert down here, got them all welded in here. Got this panel on here, and the exciting thing is Emily did the majority of the welding, especially across the bottom on here. I went and threw some paint on there. Looks like I might need to throw a little bit more just to help preserve it while he sits and waits for some more work. But yeah, that's nice because the door now opens and closes without the whole car shaking. It was kind of fun to have her run the welder. She actually picked it up pretty quickly. Like I said, I'm not a good teacher, I'm a good learner, so hopefully she's going to be the same way. But as you notice, the cross or the 8-pillar supports are removed. Same with over there. You got both 8 pillars welded in, and this one down here didn't fit too bad. I almost think the piece I did looked a little better, but hey, it'll still work. But the next step is going to be to remove the jack. And that is the jack out of my pickup truck, and if I get a flat tire, I'm kind of screwed. But yeah, it's going to be fun to see if Hubert won't sag anymore. Hopefully not. But in here, I did go and kind of do some stitch welding on the inside of the fender well. And the same with over there. Actually, Emily did the majority of this again, just for some extra support. And we still got some small pieces to put in there, and then along down here. And then we got some floor pan issues to deal with, but yep, everything's all spot welded in, cross member, and yeah, it should be good to go. So let's hang the light up and see if we can remove that support. Now this door over here opens and closes, but it does drop just a tad. I don't know if I didn't get the 8-pillar welded down there properly or not, or maybe I just need to get the door adjusted a little better. It's not too bad. If you pick up on it a little bit, it's good, but hopefully it'll work for what it is. All right, so let's see what happens. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh, so far so good. Didn't even make a noise. Didn't even move. That's a good thing. Now to save these and hang on to these, because I'm going to probably have to use them for Simon. You know, I was at an antique store and I could have bought a jack. I probably should have, so I could put this one back in the truck. And the next step is going to be switching the cars around. So yeah, that should be fun. Hold on for that. Yeah, before I move on, I wanted to show, or kind of, I don't want to use the word prove, but show you guys that car didn't sag at all. If you remember before, the shock bolts wouldn't even line up. And now that one is exactly, trying not to blind you there with the light, that one's exactly right in the center. I got this panel positioned really well. I know it's not positioned really well. I knew before it's going to have to probably open the hole up a little bit more to get a wrench in there, but that's where it was when I positioned this panel, and this was the first one I put on, and you know, it didn't get it exactly where it should have. And to kind of prove that is over here. This is a little higher than where the fender bolts on, so I'm going to have to trim this a little bit before I put that little piece in there and cut up to some fresher steel, and then figure out how I'm going to repair all this. But yep, this probably as far as we're going to go with Hubert this winter. Once I get Simon all taken care of, got a lot of work to do on him before spring and before race season, but yeah, then we'll switch the cars around or try to figure out how to park them side by side in here and get back to work on Hubert. But yeah, I enjoy opening and closing the doors now. Because if you guys remember, this door, I'll see if I can dig the video up, would not stay shut. Now it's good and strong. Good boy, Hubert. All right, guys, I'm back. As you can see, my head's turned into a gasket kit. I really like these, I call them Erlings gasket kits. I guess they're German gasket kits, what Jim Green said. But I took the heads up there so we can put some larger seats in the exhaust. I'm going to go with, I'm calling a square valve, which is still a round valve, but it's a 40 intake and a 40 exhaust. I read someplace in a turbo book that it seemed to work really well, so we're going to give it a shot, try it out. Why not, right? We can always put different heads on if we need to. But yeah, look behind me. Hubert's there. Simon's here. And it's time to let the work begin. So until next time, keep the flat side down and the shiny side up and keep shifting those gears. We'll see ya.